Thank you for tuning into the talk show. I am Andrea Hedden, and today we are going to discuss the evolved version of a channel account manager and what that looks like. I'm here with Terry Hedden, my partner in business and life. Thank you for joining us, Terry.
Pleasure to be here.
So start us off. I know that obviously we've got partnerships with companies like CompTIA and others where you do travel around, obviously on behalf of Marketopia, and train channel account managers, also known as CAMs, in just this topic.
Well, first of all, CompTIA did a great job of assembling really about 8-9 courses, and for more of a 101, and then 8 or 9 courses on a 201. So a total of 16 or so courses to help evolve channel account managers. I've delivered it all over the country, and frankly, to great results. It's great training, it's great content, it's great advice, and it really helps channel account managers rethink their approach to their position. So many vendors are so product focused, and I don't blame them. That's what they do. They create a product, right? So it's only natural that everyone there talks about the product every day, that the channel account manager centers their service and the value they provide around the product. Well, the whole concept behind an evolved channel account manager is that they rethink their position. They rethink the value they bring the partner and have it elevate from a product-centric customer service, sales support, order-taking kind of relationship to one of more of a coach and a mentor and someone who's helping them elevate their business.
Absolutely. I love that first point because I think again, rethinking the way that we position that role inside of companies, and often obviously we here at Marketopia, we see that many times, which is the whole point of going around the country and sharing advice and sharing how to become a better CAM, is because of just that, right? We've got products out there that are becoming commoditized, and you've got to really reset internally from a vendor perspective and say, okay, great, how are we going to better support these partners to sell more of our products, services, solutions through them, right? So I think one of the points you're making is that there's a product version, which is kind of like the old school CAM, and focusing on that product, what a product does, what it doesn't do, how it can help the business. But now we're moving into a period where it's less about the product, to your point, more about helping and facilitating the growth of that partner that CAM is assigned to, and how they go about doing that, right? So this would be in places like what? Sales, marketing, like what else do you think that they should be focusing on as they're really aligning with that partner to help the partner succeed in business?
Well, I think an evolved channel account manager doesn't take a one-size-fits-all approach.
True.
Frankly, they really they assess the partner, where they are as a business, where they want to go as a business, what they're good at.
What do you suggest they look at?
So
when they're assessing a partner, what are they looking at when they're assessing a partner in order to figure out kind of where that partner's at today, and then how they can help them go into the future and grow?
There's really 2 main categories of assessment. One is, what type of business are they, and what do they want to be? Are they a VAR now that wants to become an MSP?
Yeah.
Are they an MSP that's focused on infrastructure versus one that maybe wants to focus on cloud? Are they? Where are they? Are they a reseller? Are they a consultant? Are they a service provider? Like, where are they in the continuum of what we call an IT service provider now? There's so many different categories of reseller.
Yeah.
Where are they? And you do that. You figure that out by looking at revenue. Everyone says they are what they want to be in life, right? Whether you're talking about your business or your personal life, you see yourself as what you want to be. So you really have to dive in and get to know them and their P&Ls and find out where the revenue mix is and help figure out where they are. You then say, okay, where do you want to be in 5 years, right? Do you want to sell? Do you want to just run a profitable business? Do you want recurring revenue? Do you want to stay as a VAR model? Do you want to have more services or less? Do you want to have more recurring or less? Like, where do you want to take your business? And then they basically coach them to achieving that. They don't have to do it for the partner, and they don't even have to teach the partner everything they know to do that. In fact, an evolved channel account manager is really all about making introductions and helping the partners engage third parties and learn lessons from other people to scale the evolved channel manager instead of trying to do it all themselves.
So what I'm hearing, and what I'm sure you get a lot as you're out and about, and I know I hear this in conversation too, is, well, I don't really know if that's part of my job as a channel account manager, right? Like, what do you mean? Now I have to be a consultant? Now I've got to know, how to grow somebody's business? And the reality is absolutely is the answer to that. So you do need to know how to help a business grow. You do need to assess them and understand where they're at, not just how your product or solution is going to help them and help you as the person in charge of selling through more of the product and services. But in order to do that and be successful at it, what you're saying is the bow around that needs to be being a consultant and helping to better understand their business so you can better understand how your product and solution plays inside of their business and their growth strategy. So if I'm a channel account manager and I'm wondering, how do I get better at that? If I'm much more of the old school channel account manager, I'm really good at product, I'm really good at that at that type of a support system for the partner. How do I grow into being more of a consultant? Talk me through that. What do I do? How do I get better at that?
I mean, honestly, the first thing I would do is take the training. CAM 101, CAM 201 with CompTIA. I'd love to help them. Get the training, understand the concepts. We can cover a lot in these shows, but there's just so much more, right? We deliver 8 or 16 hours of content at a time. That's the first thing. The second thing is honestly to just understand that you're not there for the product. Yeah. You're there for the partner. True. And you're trying to help them know where they're struggling. Are they good at lead gen? If not, introduce them to people who are good at lead gen. Show them training on lead gen. Introduce them to third-party providers to do lead gen for them. Are they good at sales? Yeah. What do their proposals look like? I mean, do they need a sales coach, a sales mentor? They need new sales collateral. Assess where they are as a partner. 94% of resellers struggle on the front end of their business. Most resellers are actually really good on service, right? Sure, some are slightly better, slightly different than others, but for the most part, they're all good to great on services. Right. Where they tend to struggle, and what separates the 1% of MSPs and VARs that really kill it from the 99% that don't, tends to be the more evolved and successful MSPs have a functional and successful demand generation engine. They know how to get a lead and then how to close a sale. So as a channel account manager, when you quickly realize that, wait a minute, it's not that they don't want to sell my product, or that they are not selling it because they don't understand how to use the product. They're not selling it because they don't know how to get a lead. Absolutely. Or the leads they do have, they don't know how to sell. Absolutely. All of a sudden, as a default channel manager, you're like, listen, I don't have to give them more leads. I need to teach them how to close them. I don't have to give him more leads. I need to introduce him to a third-party company who will give the leads to him.
Totally different type of conversation. Right. And that's why I love that we're talking about this today, because I think changing that narrative in the conversation is huge. Going, okay, great, not about product anymore. What I'm hearing you say, it's not about product, channel account managers. It's about consulting with them. It's about understanding where they're at today in business, understanding where they want to grow in business, and then figuring out how to take them there. And that could be with the solutions, but with the where are you at today? What resources and tools do you need from me as an account manager to be able to bring to you and help facilitate to help you grow to get to that point? Because now what we're saying, instead of, saying that we are just going to be there for product support, right? We're saying, hey, we're going to be there for business consultative support, and we're going to be able to help you on many parts of your business, knowing very well that if you're a loyal partner, then you're going to pull through our solutions, right? From a vendor perspective. Now, so I love hearing, if I'm a CAM, you're saying go get proper training, and you're saying understand the business better and become a consultant and provide tools to your partner base. Now, if I'm the vendor, right? So if I'm the vendor, what tips do you think vendors need to be looking for when hiring for that CAM role? I mean, there's CAM roles always out there, right? On LinkedIn, everyone's hiring for net new CAMs. People are building out organizations and growing, which is wonderful. What do you think vendors need to be looking at and hiring for when they're hiring for these roles?
Oh, that's an interesting question. First of all, I would tell you that you don't give up on the team you have, right? Yeah. Give them an opportunity to learn. Give them the training. Empower them with the knowledge that they need to evolve and grow as a person, as a professional. So don't give up on your team, and give them the support they need. One thing I find, I go into these vendors and there's a percentage, and sometimes it's half, sometimes it's 10%, sometimes it's 100%, is nodding their head with everything that's in the CAM training. I mean, they're like eating it up. They're like, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And then all of a sudden the marketing person is summoned into the room. They're not getting the support they need. For instance, every good channel partner program should not just include training about the product. It should include training about how to get leads for the product, how to sell the product, how to make money selling the product, right? They need to have a good training. They also need a training for the reseller. In other words, a partner portal shouldn't be a product portal. It should be a partner portal. So build that out, give them the support. Also, make the introductions. Introduce them to companies like Marketopia and say, listen, if your customer is if your reseller is struggling to get a lead, you don't have to teach them how to get a lead. You're not a marketing expert. Yep. You don't want to spend 8 hours teaching your partners how to do SEO. Even if you did, even if you could, you shouldn't.
Yep.
What you want to do is to say, listen, here are 3 marketing companies that can help you drive demand. Here are 3 sales training and sales coaching companies that can help you drive demand, right? They can send them a link, training.marketopia.com, and that email to their partners can move the dial. Because instead of a one-to-one initiative where you're investing in hours and hours teaching your partners how to grow, you're sending out an email or a Facebook post or a LinkedIn or a tweet or something where you're directing them somewhere that they can self-serve, self-educate. They can consume training that someone else has created, which means you have an infinite ROI on your time. If your partners get 50% better at closing than they were, your results will go up by 50%, and they'll be more loyal because you're the one who brought them there.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to tote the rope. But if you're a company that wants an evolved channel manager, you got to support them. You got to give them the training. You got to give the support. And you gotta introduce them to the partners that they need to be evolved.
I think too, in that same vein, there's the understanding how to better support internally, right, the CAMs to better support the partners, right? Because I think that there's things that the vendors can do to say, okay, great, we're going to give these pieces of training to our CAMs to then better support the partners, whether that's sales training or whether that's marketing training. I can tell you how many vendors I have conversations with that their CAMs were just product account managers. They actually don't know a lot about marketing or sales for that matter. So when you're sitting there in a position that now the position needs to evolve, you need to evolve as an individual in order to support that partner. And if you don't actually know anything outside of the product, you're not set up to succeed. And so back to your point, vendors need to take a really good look at how you're supporting your CAMs and what you're giving them to get educated on sales and marketing and lead generation and being a consultant to these partners so that the partners can succeed. And I think along those same lines into what you're saying and sharing is that once that support is given, then CAMs have to decide whether or not that's a role that they like, because it has changed. We also work with vendors who have teams that are confused now about what that role is. What is their CAM role? Like, what does that mean anymore? And who's actually responsible for what? If it's a marketing question, is that the internal marketing team that's responsible? What is the CAM actually? So I think one other bit of advice we would give to vendors is better align the roles and responsibilities inside of your team for how you are supporting that partner. What is the CAM role and responsibility? What is the marketing role and responsibility? What are your internal teams responsible for when it comes to supporting the success of that partner? And once that confusion goes away, and then that account manager team has the tools internally to better educate themselves to support the partner, it all gets a lot more clear. Because I think too, one thing you didn't mention, but I think is important to talk about is helping with the marketing plan for that partner. So you mentioned that you can partner with a third party or advise, right, a preferred marketing partner through the vendor to say, hey, partner, go with this or this company and partner that way. But the other piece is how involved that CAM should be into the marketing plan that the partner is doing, even after they go partner with a company. I know here, even at Marketopia, when we do have those sort of relationships built with vendors, and we even are maybe in some cases doing the marketing on behalf of the partner, the CAMs are still involved in the conversation or involved in at points of the conversation so that they know and are educated on what the partner's doing to succeed. So I think that those are all really, really great points. Now, if you were to say, back to something that we were talking about off camera, about what vendors can do to better differentiate themselves. So you were mentioning to me earlier about making sure that we're talking through the kind of angle of being a consultant, the angle of differentiating through partnership. Talk to us about that. Like, what do you think is important for a vendor to know and kind of take to that extra mile as we go into this next year?
2020 is sort of the year where there's a lot of parity out there. I feel like in the last 3 years, vendors have caught up with each other. There's no, in most product categories, it's not like you have one person who's much better at the product than other people. Yeah. You have 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 partners that all have products that are darn comparable with each other. And it's to the point now where there's really not that many more features and benefits to add. And the ones that can be added are extremely expensive to create. So you end up being a situation where it's really, really, really expensive to leverage product innovation to differentiate yourself from the competition.
Yeah.
So what do? You start competing on the partnership level instead of the product level. You start creating an environment where your partners are more successful for being a partner. They're more successful at revenue, sales, profit. They're happier as partners than other people. Mm-hmm. It's not about the product, it's about the partnership. So, and the beautiful thing about that is that it's not that expensive to compete as a partner. Mm-hmm. There's such a low standard. So many vendors are so obsessed with their own products that they've lost sight of the rest of the business. That what the MSPs truly need and consult. If you did a survey of 100 MSPs, probably 1 to 5 would tell you that they need a more evolved product. The reason they're not successful is because the products aren't good enough. Mm-hmm. 95 will tell you that they need help getting a lead. They need help closing a sale. Absolutely. So what we really see is vendors spending a tiny fraction of what they would spend enhancing the product to create a truly differentiated, evolved, and powerful channel partner program that empowers their partners to be successful, to teach them what they need to know to get leads, close sales, and make money. At the end of the day, partners that make money are going to grow faster, invest more in demand gen, they're going to be more loyal to you and your product, and frankly, they're going to be more successful as people, which is what we should all want for our partners.
Absolutely, and I think what you're sharing is that where vendors are winning and where account managers are winning are in the relationship, right? So in that partnership. And this can really mean a couple of things. This can be with the person, that channel account manager becoming more evolved and creating a better relationship of more of a consultant to that partner. The other side of this is vendors differentiating themselves better with ease of use, ease of partnership, and creating a stickier relationship with those partners to where, because the products aren't that different, they can't choose on products anymore, right? I've got 2 highlighters that look exactly the same. They both write the same, but it was easier to buy this one than maybe the other one, right? So it's just the ease of the partnership and that relationship that you can build, and all of a sudden that is now where we're finding a lot of the heavy emphasis is being put on, and partners are sticking around longer for that. So I absolutely love that. Give me one takeaway. This is titled Evolved Channel Account Manager. One takeaway that you wanna share and give, if an account manager is watching this right now and they're like, oh wow, this is resonating with me. Give them one thing that they should be thinking about, that they should do, one bit of advice that maybe you get a lot as you're traveling around the world giving, trainings.
Yeah. If you get a little bit better at coaching people about your product, you'll get a little bit more sales. But if you can increase your partner's ability to get leads by 50%, you'll have 50% more sales. And if you increase sales by 50% and leads by 50%, you'll increase your leads by 100%, right? You can more than double the production if you help your partners get more leads and close more sales. So if I had to come up with anything as an evolved channel manager, be a coach that helps them in those 2 areas, and you'll see the greatest ROI in your time.
I love it. Okay, perfect. So lots of takeaways here. Thank you so much for joining us, Terry. And if you are a CAM or a vendor watching this, I hope that you got some really amazing things out of it. And there's so much to do to become an evolved channel account manager, and the people who are doing it right are doing it very right. So I would say step up your game and get out there and help these partners be successful. So thank you for tuning into the talk show, Andra Hedden and Terry, and we will see you soon.